Hello, hello, my lovely Virgos. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Sorry, it's fine. Okay, we've got the mirror and the dead end, the river, the siren, Kairos, and the vow. I see somebody who's stuck behind, I see a garden. Um, but it's like like one of those maze gardens, and there's something on the other side that you've been watching, and you feel like you are stuck in this maze, and yet you can see things that are going on. I can see, like fractured things that are going on here and there. And I don't know, because I feel such a flow of emotion all of a sudden, like this sense of like envy and longing for that, and then this disdain for the very thing that you wanted, and then just this, I don't know, like this like full circle of like all of these emotions, because that's what feels like where the fuel is coming from. And Virgos, I don't know if you, like which side of the story you're on, because obviously you can be on either side of the story, take what resonates and leave the rest. But there is just this sense of being stuck, of like watching, of wanting, and then, sorry. Watching and wanting, and then there's the idea of missing out on something that you really, really want, that I feel like you've promised yourself. So I don't know if that full circle emotion is like almost just a recognition of like the extent of the emotion. Let's do clarifiers. Okay, Virgs. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, I don't know, because it does feel like this intense emotion. Like you can't hate something that you don't love. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. You know what I mean? And if I never loved you, then I can be indifferent to you and it's no worries. You know what I mean? Like the only way that you can really, like, I don't know, experience this like intense emotion is if you are somehow emotionally triggered by something. Maybe it's like an uncovering of like, I don't know, because I just like, I'm thinking of like an emotional cycle, and it feels like in a relationship, like where you're like completely obsessed with someone and then you cannot even stand the look of them. And then you feel, like, I don't know, indifferent about it all. And then it's almost like this, I don't know, like being reintroduced to this volatile emotion. Ooh, Bergs. Because you have the hermit, the world, and the moon. I mean, this is pulling away at the end of a cycle and really having to follow your intuition and escape these burning down buildings, and I don't know, maybe it's just this idea of like emotional investment, because when you've been in really unhealthy relationships, when you've been in really toxic relationships, when you've dealt with some dumb fucks who don't think the world exists outside of themselves, and you know what I mean, and your only point of existence is through them, and like I don't know, like there is a like a like an emotional reaction that people can experience to that, because like I don't ever want to experience anything like that again. Like, I don't ever want to deal with that energy. I don't ever want, you know what I mean? And I just kind of feel like this like emotional response, you know, and having to really pull away from it because you just feel like, am I opening Pandora's box with this? And then you have the Knight of Cups and the Ten of Wands. And I just kind of feel like whatever this like emotional like whirlwind is that you experience, I don't feel like you're experiencing it with the same community that you had been dealing with previously because you escaped that building. And when you're dealing with communities who are conscious of people outside of themselves, you know, then you're dealing with communities that are conscious of like of other people's triggers, of other people's needs, you know. And Virgo, you've been really, really good at tending to other people's needs and other people's, you know, but you at the expense of yourself. And I think that like when you're dealing with a like healthy community, people are conscious of what you need and what you like and how you operate, and so they work with you. You know, they accommodate you. You know, and I think we do that in all of our friendships and all of our relationships. You know, like when you are building healthy community and healthy friendships and healthy relationships, you know, like you are very conscious of like what other people's wants, needs, and desires are. You know, because you have a desire to meet those for them in the same way that they desire to meet those for you. You know what I mean? And I just kind of feel like, but when you are engaging in that at the onset, I feel like there's almost this like internal triggered response to that, that just sends you on a little bit of a roller coaster. It's just an emotional ride. It's not a forever and always. I just feel like you're gonna have a point in time where you're really just gonna need to breathe through some things, you know, and that's okay. You're making this decision because whatever the decision is that you're making, even though it triggers you, I think you feel confident and safe in the direction that you're going. Okay, Virks. Two of Wands, the Hanged Man, Justice. Oh, well, yeah, that's like everything that I just said. It does. It feels like a community of people where you feel like there's an understanding of, I don't know, just like respecting boundaries, just respecting the concept of even something as simple as consent. People move like, what is it that they say, like assuming things makes an ass out of you and me. And I feel like you operated with people who just assumed things and didn't actually like understand what they were doing. And you know, it's like watching somebody put together a piece of furniture without reading the instructions, and then they fuck it up. You know what I mean? And they get mad and they're like, you know, and it's like, well, you know, if you would have taken the time to actually read the instructions, you know, like you would know how to work that, but you don't. You just break things. You're not dealing with those people anymore. Thank God. There's so much. I feel like there's justice because when you are experiencing those emotional, like whirlwind type of energies, you're also experiencing, you know, just kind of like those, like those resentments and those, you know, like you're reliving these experiences. And I just kind of feel like instead of reliving them and feeling like, oh, sorry. Instead of reliving them and feeling like you're going to be going right back on the roller coaster, I feel like you relive it and then you're like, I don't know, maybe you have somebody you can just talk to about it. You know, sometimes we just need somebody to like be a sounding board, you know, and share, you know, like what's going on in our lives so that like at least one person knows, at least one person understands, you know. The Hermit and the King of Cups. I mean, again, this is just that energy of pulling away and being emotionally detached. I don't know what this is that's like causing this emotional like roller coaster within you. But I feel like you just really need to step back and allow yourself to just feel the emotions, because if you allow yourself to feel the emotions, you don't store the emotions. It's in, it's out, it's done. Moving on, you know? And maybe you haven't really allowed yourself to feel a lot of those emotions because you don't have the time, energy, or capacity to deal with that right now. The Nectar. But I feel like now you're able to really move forward. Now you're really able to move forward with a community that you feel like there's a sense of cohesiveness. There's a sense of partnership, and there's a sense of justice. Not all relationships are bad relationships. Not all people are toxic people. Not all people are going to drag you through the mud and drop you through the cracks. Not all people are going to require you to hide in the corner because every time you step on them. Those weren't your people. That wasn't your community. And it's understandable that you still carry that, residual energy within your body. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to work that energy out so that it doesn't control you. Because that's when our subconscious gets in our way, right? Virgos, I love y'all so much. I hope that this resonates with you. Please do give me a like, share, and subscribe if it does. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.